The artist's struggle. In a small room with worn wooden walls, the artist sat surrounded by scattered oil paints and the scent of turpentine. The blank canvas in front of him beckoned for color, but the artist couldn't find it within himself to create. He remembered the days when he had the drive to create, to make something beautiful out of the blankness before him. But now, the blankness had taken over, leaving him with nothing but hesitation and doubt. As he sat, his eyes wandering to the rusted skylight above, he began to dream of the past. He remembered the silhouette of the town at sunset and the way the light played on the buildings. He wished he could capture that beauty, but he was afraid. But then, something changed. A new inspiration took hold, and he began to paint with all the passion he once had. He felt the colors flowing from his soul and onto the canvas. The artist created a masterpiece, a piece that spoke of the beauty and the struggle of creation. He titled it Land Art, a tribute to the process of creating something out of nothing. The piece was displayed in a gallery, and people were drawn to it. They could see the emotions the artist had put into it, and the beauty in the messiness. The painting brought joy to many and became a symbol of hope for struggling artists everywhere. As the artist stood in front of his work, he realized that his struggle had been worth it. He had overcome his fear and created something beautiful. His art would inspire others to do the same. In the end, the artist learned that the process of creating was just as important as the final product. He had to embrace the messiness, the hesitation, and the doubt to create something truly great. Descent to madness. You stand alone in your small studio apartment. The smell of oil paint and turpentine fills the air, and the walls are lined with canvases, both empty and completed. You feel a sense of dread creeping up on you, the pressure of your next art show weighing heavily on your mind. You grab your brushes and begin to paint, throwing colors onto the canvas with abandon. Each stroke brings you further away from reality, your mind consumed with the act of creation. You forget to eat, to sleep, to do anything but paint. Days turn into weeks, and the paint begins to consume you. You see it everywhere, even in your dreams. Your canvases become darker, more twisted, more tortured. The colors blend together in a sea of madness, and you can no longer tell where one ends and another begins. The world outside your studio becomes a distant memory, something you once knew but have now forgotten. The only reality you know is the one you've created with your paint and your brushes. Your family and friends try to reach out to you, but you push them away. They don't understand your art. They can't see the beauty in the madness. You are alone, but it doesn't matter. The paint is all you need. As the day of your art show approaches, you become more and more manic. You work tirelessly, pouring every ounce of your being into your canvases. You lose track of time, and your mind begins to blur the lines between reality and the world you've created with your paint. And then, the day arrives. You stand in your gallery, surrounded by your paintings. They are dark, twisted, beautiful in their own way. You feel the eyes of the world upon you, and you can't help but smile. You've done it. You've created something truly unique, something that no one else can understand. And as the crowd begins to murmur and move through your gallery, you feel a sense of satisfaction wash over you. You've sacrificed everything for your art, but it was worth it. You've created something that will live on long after you're gone. And as you stand in the center of your madness, you know that you wouldn't have it any other way.
The decay of an artist. I sit in my small studio, surrounded by the smell of oil paint and turpentine. The room is cluttered with scattered new oil colors, paintbrushes, and canvases. I look at the blank canvas in front of me, wondering what to paint. The white surface seems to mock me, as if taunting me with my lack of inspiration. I should be creating something new, something beautiful, but all I can feel is the inevitability of decay. The decay of my talent, my passion, my life. The decay of all things in this world. I used to love this room, this space where I could create anything I wanted. But now, it's become a prison, a place where I am trapped by my own limitations. I once had the ability to create colors that had never been seen before, but now I can barely create a single stroke without it feeling forced. My thoughts drift to the past, to the days when I was young and full of promise, when the world was my oyster and my art was everything. But as I grew older, I realized that I could not outrun the inevitable. that all things, including my talent, would eventually decay and break down. I am a part of the cycle of life, and like everything else, I will eventually fade away. And yet, despite this knowledge, I continue to create. It's all I know how to do, even as I feel myself breaking down, slowly but surely. I look around my studio, at the paintings that line the walls, and I wonder if they will outlast me, if they will be the only remnants of my existence, long after I am gone. But even then, they too will eventually decay and fade away. As I pick up my paintbrush and begin to make a mark on the canvas, I realize that this is all I have. This moment, this stroke, this creation. It's all I can give to the world, even as I decay and break down. And for now, that's enough.